Thank you, hello, and welcome to another episode of 80/20, where we have spirited debate and discussion about sports, local or national issues, and just about everything else. In every discussion based on opinion, 80% is correct, 20% is correct. We just need your help to figure out who has the 80 and who has the 20. I'm your guy, Jay Stoggs, and as always, I'm joined by my man with the master plan, Aunt Jay. What up, dude?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Yo, y'all may not notice, but somebody's looking a little bit younger today.
Really? Really?
Oh.
You put this on air?
Oh, he's so pretty.
Hey, man.
Oh, he's so pretty.
It's new school year.
I hear you, brother. Put it on him.
We gotta do that.
Bring that whole thing back. Dude, I like it, man. It's nice.
Appreciate it.
That's what's up.
Appreciate it. I don't even really know how to treat that.
That's okay. Treat it as, you know what I'm saying, it's a compliment, because that's what it is. Like, wow. Whoa, that's strong. That's strong.
Let's get into the show.
That's strong. Let's get into it. Yo, what's the first topic, bro?
So first off, the show is basically going to be Dallas Cowboy training camp questions, thoughts.
Hey, yeah.
You know, just the straight rigmarole. You know what I mean? So first topic is going to be, out of these new triplets, if we can call them that.
Sure, yeah, I think we can.
Dak, Zeke, and Coop.
Yep. There you go.
Who
Super Bowl bound. You know what I'm saying?
We pay now. So that's going to be the first question. So if you were the GM of these current Dallas Cowboys, who would you pay?
Ah, that's tough. And really to kind of give it some context, you know, the only one that really needs to be paid when you look at it is Amari Cooper. You know, out of those three.
Yeah.
Dak is still under contract. Zeke is still under contract for 2 years. And he's holding out, and we'll get to that later. But I do believe that, you know, you go with Cooper because that's the guy I think a lot of people are not really talking about that's helping this offense go. You definitely saw it in the second half of the season. You know, the first half of the season, you had Dak and you had Zeke.
Right.
And you had an offense that was sputtering and stuttering and couldn't even find itself.
Well, that's the thing. We settled for 3 instead of getting the 7. And it just seemed like...
well, there's a reason for that.
Obviously, we didn't have a number 1. I mean, we've got all these guys. Hearns before his injury.
Right.
Who
was later cut.
Yeah. Depended on the Gallup. Beasley.
Yeah.
So, and at one time, obviously, Beasley, I believe, was our best receiver. And again, he's in Buffalo. And again, just a crowd favorite, fan favorite.
But they didn't utilize him.
Right. And we thought he should be getting at least 10 targets a game.
Absolutely.
He seemed to always be open, but, you know, I guess you have to throw to the guy. And, you know, our guys couldn't get any separation. You know, Tavon Austin would have a good game.
Right.
But just a flash. Then he'd get hurt and be out half the year. So I guess to answer the question posed, and my answer actually changed during the research. At first I said pay Dak, pay Coop, franchise Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
And I said franchise Zeke because I wanted him to understand you don't get a long-term contract until this foolishness stops. But again, that's me.
Yeah.
Now, after the research,
I'm
like, pay Coop.
Mm-hmm.
You still franchise Zeke. And I'm just going to let my silence speak.
So you're going to wait on Dak? Or you don't pay Dak?
Like I said, I'm going to let my silence speak.
Wow. Okay, so hold on. Back up. Wait a minute. So, franchising Zeke, okay. You know, I can see that.
He's an elite back.
He's a number one back.
You're paying him, yes.
He's a number one back
right,
in the league.
Right, that's great. But my thing is, you don't get that long-term deal because, again, like once a year at least, you're doing something negatively here in the press. DUIs.
Look, okay, let's take that out. Let's take that out. Let's take the off-field stuff out because the reality is
it comes with it.
The reality is this: talent always trumps deviant behavior. It always does. You can look at some of the best players in this league that have ever played. Lawrence Taylor, I'm looking at you. This dude is still in the Hall of Fame after everything he's done. Michael Irvin, I'm looking at you. You know what I'm saying? This dude was convicted of cocaine and all kinds of other stuff. I mean, look, talent trumps deviant behavior. You can say what you want to. Pac-Man Jones, to me, is the epitome of this. This dude was in the league and just retired. But, I mean, he's taking money, got guns, doing all kinds of stuff. Talent trumps deviant behavior. So that's what I'm saying. Take the other stuff off.
So
look at him.
My argument
look at him
against
purely,
that is
purely as
look
a
at the
running
Patriots.
back.
Look at the Patriots.
You can't look at the Patriots.
Why not? They're elite. They are a team. You don't hear this stuff coming out of New England.
Let me tell you why. It's very simple. Are you ready?
I'm listening.
Bill Belichick.
Right.
I'm gonna stop right there.
But that's fine.
Okay, I'm back. Here's the problem, man. Here's the problem, dude. You have coaches and you have football coaches. You know what I mean? Jason Garrett is a coach because that's his title. That's not what he does, but that's his title. Jimmy Johnson was a football coach. He was the dude that said, look, I know I'm going to have some trouble players. I get that. But this is what we're going to do. You're going to come here. All the stuff you're doing, you call me first. I'll take care of it.
So basically what you're saying is, if I'm hearing you correctly, because I'm going to change it up a little bit.
Go ahead.
You have a coach who has authority. And
yes.
And is okay using his authority.
Sure.
So my thing is, when we compare New England to a situation like Dallas,
right?
You have the mindset that we have.
Sure.
And it goes cross ages.
Mm-hmm.
You have clear expectations that need to be met. If they are not met, the consequences follow. So my thing is this.
I'm gonna wait.
With Zeke. The consequence of this behavior that you are constantly showing us, you don't get that long-term 4-year contract or whatever it is, the Le'Veon Bell deal, whatever it is that you feel like you're worth. You need to prove to us that you can actually stay here and not act.
Go ahead, Go ahead, put that word out there.
You just can't act
ninja-ish.
You gotta make good decisions. And you say you're sorry all the time. For me, if I'm the GM, it doesn't cut it.
Dude, here's the problem here. The running back position has become so devalued.
Which is terrible.
Absolutely terrible. But it makes sense. Because you look at DeMarco Murray, you look at Alfred Morris, you look at Morris, you look at Gurley now. Gurley is not the same running back that he was, okay? So you're now seeing, and there's exceptions to the rule, like Adrian Peterson is exception to the rule, okay?
Guys.
Okay, whatever. He's exception to the rule. You know, Le'Veon Bell is an exception to the rule, depending on how he looks in New York, because we haven't seen him realistically. Well, we did. We saw him from 1 year after his injury. But I'm just saying, you have a unique talent that is young, that wants to run, that is number one in basically all the major statistics that deal with running backs. Yet, the dude is telling you, hey, y'all need to pay me now because I know that when I hit 26, 27, I'm out of here.
Okay, well, I guess my retort to that as we move on is stop messing up. And then that way you can get this money. Cause see,
talent trumps.
I get you, but behavior. I bet you if he had 0 incidents, he might have already gotten paid.
No, that's just not how Dallas does it. But we can move on.
All right, let's move on. Next topic.
Go ahead.
Not at all.
Sponsors.
Sponsors.
Trumps behavior.
Sponsors Trump's behaviors. Huh? I hear you. Okay.
Tell Dexter Manley. All right. Do you let, if you let one triplet go, out of Zeke, and Coop, which one would it be?
Man, that's a tough one. Dak.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
The whole time that when we did our pre-production
Yeah.
meeting, I was of the opinion of Zeke.
Yeah.
Because me as a stickler for the rules, so I see myself more as a Grant Hill more than a Dennis Rodman. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm talking
It's
about
funny you say
character
that.
versus
It's funny you
production.
say that because, and I think this goes right back to my point. Grant Hill, great player. How many chips did he win?
Right, 0. He was
Okay,
hurt.
so then we look at Dennis Rodman. Absolute fool. He's definitely a butt. Yet, how many championships does he have?
I get you.
How many?
I see
More than
your
0?
thinking.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. That's the thing. Talent trumps deviant behavior. Grant Hill, great player. He got hurt a little bit, but other than that, Dennis Rodman was a consummate talent, knew what he did it, and the teams he was on won championships.
Okay, so again, it's which would you prefer? Now again, I'm talking about me. This is what I'm comfortable with. I would like my franchise to be run with the values that I believe. So,
And that's
you're
why
right.
that's,
But see, here's
that's
the
why
thing.
you will be chipless.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, fine. But I'll have
you will have the Grant Hill.
when I have players going to these hospitals talking about you a role model,
That's nice.
it's gonna mean something.
That's nice.
I
How
mean,
many
hey,
how many
it is
Cleveland
what it
Browns
is.
players go to the hospitals and the kids like, oh wow, it's a Cleveland Brown. You know what they say? You know what?
Jim Brown.
Are there any he won chips.
Right.
Where are the Cavs?
Right.
Can you bring the Cavs in? They've won a championship. Has
LeBron-
anybody seen J.R. Smith? He's a champion. Bring him in here.
So anyway, let's stay on topic there. So
Did that hurt a little bit?
no, not at all.
It's little
I'm
bit
trying to
stuff.
get you on topic because
I'm on topic.
okay. So which one did you say?
I
you
said
would-
Dak.
Okay.
Dak gotta go.
So here's the thing. Like
Get
I
you another
said,
one.
first one I was
got him
under
in
the
the fourth
impression of Zeke, and then however once I did the number crunching, I wanted to actually answer this not so emotionally, but as a football guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So when you look at TDs,
Yeah.
yards thrown,
Yeah.
QBR,
Yeah.
Dak's in the middle. Like
Yeah.
he's 15, 14, 16,
Man, how many teams are in the league?
32.
32. Middle of
So
the pack. So he's not what they would consider a first-tier quarterback.
no,
Would he be a
So-
second-tier quarterback?
it depends on the tier. If your first tier is 1 through 10,
Right.
then 11 through 20 is second tier.
That's second tier.
However, if your tier is more defined than that, like
1
a
through
top 5,
Yeah. That's
you know.
what we do.
Right.
Top 5. You
So-
know. Yeah.
So here's the thing, even yards per game, he's 21st. So here's what that tells us. He's a fantastic game manager because of his feet. And this is the reason why I think us fans like him so much is because he can actually do both. He passes fair enough to where he doesn't turn the ball over. And then when it's third and short, you really don't know if they do read option, the run pass option, if he's going to run it for the first down or if he's going to run it. So my thing is this. You have an elite receiver in Coop.
Absolutely.
You have an elite number 1, right?
Number 1.
Option in Zeke. And again, I'm not talking about the knucklehead
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about you have elite
Yeah.
versus elite
Yeah.
versus good
Good. 21st in the league is good.
in yards per game. So everything else was middle of the pack.
Touchdowns per game.
So that's why
Touchdowns per game.
I would say this. As far as Dak is concerned,
Oh,
if
man.
you're going to pay him, and again, this is one I would let go if you had to let one of them go. Obviously, maybe you might want to trade him to get something for him, but
You ain't going to be able to trade him.
you would hope that maybe you could get somebody else to give you better numbers. Now, hopefully, with Moore being the OC, maybe that changes.
You
his
hope you get a
dynamic
pick.
bit.
You hope you get a pick for that. That's the only way it gets better is if you get maybe a second round pick. Maybe you get a first round pick.
Well, the thing I think that Dak is having a hard time with as far as him getting paid is this. When he looks behind him, like there's nobody there.
Yes.
Cooper Rush.
Yes.
This is his third, fourth year here.
I understand that.
And I'm still like, who is this dude?
I understand that.
So I understand Dak because there's nobody behind me.
Right.
So it's an interesting dichotomy, but
I'm about to pay you like first tier quarterback money, even though you're not first tier.
Well, I compared him to his stats to Russell Wilson. I think that's a pretty fair comparison. Russell just blasts him on every front.
Yeah.
So
Russell Wilson is a better quarterback.
Obviously, but we need to compare him to somebody.
And he won a championship.
So, and that's fine. And he's a good guy. So, he's not a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Of course, he's a
guy.
great guy.
But Marshawn Lynch, he's a good guy.
That's a beast man.
Again, talent trumps deviant behavior. I'm telling you, it happens every time, man. It's you can say, oh no, and good guys this and blah blah blah.
But this is exactly why the show concept is what it is.
Dudes that are nasty. You need dudes that's gonna go in there and gonna get the job done, irregardless of what's happening.
So you're okay with a rapist being on your team? You're okay with a dude snatching his baby boy arm and breaking it or whatever? You're dude with cats on video kicking females when they down. That's what you're okay with.
So hold on.
But as long as they have
or
get you the
so
chip.
You're talking about Tyreek Hill, who was exonerated. Found out old girl was lying. But we're not going to talk about that, right?
We can.
No.
Because
we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that.
There's always somebody else that does something worse.
Absolutely. And that happens in everyday life. But here's the problem here. Here's the issue. Okay? Number one, we're going way off topic, but I'm cool with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you what happens in the league.
No,
I'm not telling you.
Happens in every league.
Hold on. I'm not telling you what's right or wrong. I'm telling you that talent trumps deviant behavior. If you want to stop that, then you have to kick these dudes out indefinitely from the league.
So
that's how that works.
Here's the thing. This whole show or this whole discussion, debate, as you said in the intro.
Spirited discussion.
Right. It's about preference.
It is.
So this is all I'm doing is I like character on my squad. Feel free to win all the dirty chips that you want. And that's fine. And that's the thing.
Chips, that's what puts you in the Hall of Fame. That's what puts you on commercials. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, you
don't win any chips. He had commercials.
No, he went to the Super Bowl.
He's an all-time great, is he not?
Actually, Peyton passed him in a lot of areas, but yeah.
Is he not an all-time great, Dan Marino? Yes or no?
Okay, sure.
Do you need chips to quantify your legacy? Either you're great, you're good, you're average, or you're a scrub.
Let me tell you something. Charles Barkley cries every night because he does not have a championship. Great player.
Charles will be all right.
He cries. He has.
He might cry tears of joy.
No, he has dark spots under his eyes.
Yo, dude can bet $1 million on blackjack.
Puffy eyes.
Lose it.
Puffy eyes.
Okay. I think he'll be all
right.
Puffy eyes. That's fine.
And you know what's crazy? Let me tell you what's crazy. Lynn Sanity has a chip, and he doesn't.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to
Jeremy
me
Lin
about
is a champion,
That's
bro.
My dude.
Jeremy Lin is a champion, and Charles Barkley is not.
Right.
Think about that.
And we could do that all day. We could go look in the rosters, talking about who's the champ and who's not.
I'm just saying.
Yo, don't talk about Jeremy Lin. That one stings. Cause that's my dude. That's my dude.
Who, Charles or Lin?
Both. I enjoy both, but I
enjoy Charles Barkley.
Currently, I am rooting for Lin to get on somebody's team and get some run. He needs some playing time. They forget. Sometimes when you don't play, they forget what you can do. I just want him to have a chance.
He'll be out of the league in 2 years.
If not this year. And that hurts me to say. Jeremy, man, you got a fan. Not just one.
I know all of China is behind him. All right, moving on.
All right, I'm going to skip a topic here because of time. So the topic here that I would like to get into is this. Because I'm going to skip it a little bit. We're going to talk about your boy, the Ageless Wonder. Can we call him an Ageless Wonder? Jason Witten came back, right? Sat out the year last year.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, he didn't like whatever constructive criticism.
Yeah, he
came
wasn't
his
good.
way,
He wasn't really good.
and he decided to come back.
He wasn't good. And the problem with that was Romo was good.
Romo
was good.
is wonderful.
Romo is good.
He looks like a fortune teller out there.
And
He's so happy. He's exuberant.
Yeah.
He's knowledgeable.
but when Witten gets on there, it's like,
So here's the question.
I mute the games when he's on there. I mute the game.
Well, that's because you like to talk during the games too. So you got to hear your own voice. So here's the question. The question is this.
It's a lot of shade.
What?
I'm glad it's hot because there's a lot of shade up in here. Go ahead.
I'm glad you're cool. Okay.
I'm always cool. Ice cold. Go ahead.
I like that. Okay. So the question is this. Will the guy who started last year, Jarwin, Jarwin.
Jarwin, thank you.
Yeah. Will he end up taking a win spot by season's end?
Let me see. Hell no. Come on, man. Look, here's the problem with the tight end core. They all suck. If there was a word other than suck, then they would all be that. There's a reason why Witten was allowed to come back. And I believe he was asked to come back. When you look at all three of the tight ends that they had, you now have a dude that's like 58 years old coming out of the booth. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I don't even understand how they can even, in that tight end room, I wish I could be in the tight end room. I wish I could be in the receiver room. Because I would be that dude on the side like, damn, y'all really not that good, man, because look how old Witten is. I mean, dude, he has a handicap sticker in his window. Witten does. And he's still going to start over them.
So the question is, will the younger guy start at season's end?
No.
That's not the question that we talked about?
That is the question.
Okay.
My answer is no.
Okay. And this is where the 80-20 thing comes in. It kicks in.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to say yes. Okay?
Yes.
And it's because of the physical attributes of these guys. They're younger. So Jarwin.
That's it. They're younger,
Right.
but cannot catch.
No, I got it. So here's the thing. I got stats behind that. And that's fine.
And block.
So here's the thing.
Got
Jarwin
block.
last year with limited runs, obviously they're swapping out tight ends and things like that. He had 27 catches, 307 yards. The average is 11.7. That's 3 touchdowns. Now, Witten, a full year, so the last year, 2017, 63 catches, 560 yards. The average was 8.9. Obviously, we would joke about him running 6 yards, making a curl, and just sitting down in the zone.
I wasn't sitting down. He catch the ball, and he's not fast.
Right, not at all.
He's not fast.
So
but he
deal
catches
is
the
this.
ball.
Because of experience, I do believe that he will start the season, but I don't believe that he's going to end it. I think that he's going to end up mentoring these guys and showing them the ropes, and then that way they have somebody to
Can he
fall
show him
back
how to
on.
catch?
That's
That's
fine.
really important.
I mean, but here's the thing. Witten in his last year starting caught 5 touchdowns.
Okay.
Jarwin last year, in limited play, sharing the role, had 3.
Yes.
So my thing is, if you obviously project those out some, I think Jarwin will have...
What's your projection? When you say some, let's quantify.
Okay, how about
that.
this? More. Is that better?
I mean, can you quantify this? If this only shows 25% or 50% of the production by the tight ends.
I just think that.
Look,
because here's the thing. We obviously we can go back and forth, and again, that's the premise.
That's
of
the premise of the show.
But my thing is, I'm hitting you with data. You just doing it just because.
I'm not doing it just because.
The experience is fantastic, but when we look
It's
at
the
reality.
reality. It's the reality. There's a reason why Jason Witten in his 19th, 18th,
16th,
15th, 50th,
16th,
whatever. He's been in the league a long time.
Yes.
Okay? And there's a reason why he started over them dudes. They kept drafting other tight ends.
Right. But he was great.
He was better.
Nobody outplayed him. You're right.
So
but this is a brand new year.
That was the year before he left. That was the year he left. He wanted them to step up, but they couldn't because they just weren't that good.
Question, was Martellus Bennett good when he left the Cowboys?
Martellus Bennett was good. He was
behind Witten.
He was, but his attitude was his problem. It was all attitude. It was
Okay, but he left.
He left and
And
went.
then he performed. So what's the difference then between attitude and stupid behavior off the court or off the field?
It wasn't off the field. It was on the field. He felt as though he should play more than Witten. And the problem was that as a rookie, and you have a seasoned veteran and Witten was still very good at that time, you're like, yo, you gotta wait your time, bro. You're gonna get it. And that was shown, even in the Hard Knocks that they did with the Cowboys. You saw him throwing tantrums on the sideline.
So
that's a problem, and they're not gonna have that.
No.
So he went to the Patriots.
So the guy
and won a
had
championship.
a competitive issue.
You know what?
Because that's the thing. If you
It's
want
not a
to
competitive
compete
issue.
and you bark about it, why is that a bad thing? I would rather have the dude
It's called
compete.
time and place and professionalism. Now, if you go into the hallway and start saying, "Oh, my principal is a straight up donkey. I can't believe the decisions that they make." How long you think you're going to stay in that school? Not very long. But if you go to your principal and behind closed doors and say, "Hey, there's some issues that I'm seeing, and hopefully we can talk this out." That's what you do because you're a professional. When you don't do that, then now you're becoming unprofessional and you're causing an issue in the locker room. And one thing Bennett did not have was backup in that locker room, and that's why he was dealt.
And one thing he does have is a chip.
He does.
Interesting.
Talent trumps deviant behavior.
I get it.
Top 5. It's that time again. Oh, this is a good one. Yo, the top 5. The top 5, you know, a lot of people, they do like a top 10, a top 25, a top 100. But we do a top 5. And here on our top 5, now this one is near and dear to, I believe, both of our hearts here, right? This one right here, man, the top 5.
The top 5?
The top 5 worst video games of all time.
Holy moly.
Now, I have to ask.
Get the pooper scooper ready.
Man, dude, it's going on right now.
In no particular order.
In no particular
Let's
order.
get it up. Come on, man. You want me to go first? You go first.
I think we both have one that we both know what it is. And I think we can get that out of the way.
Is it on the Atari?
It is on the Atari.
Oh, man, 1982.
Man, the cause, you know what I'm saying, of the video game crash
of 83.
Yes, sir. That is one extraterrestrial.
And the problem is, we played this when we visited the video game
museum in Frisco. Yes, sir.
And so we fell in the hole and couldn't get out the hole.
That's what she said. I'm telling you, man. I'm saying on
that's
my
so juvenile.
We talking about video games. Yo, E.T. Yes, by far.
It's trash,
dude. I know that's on your list. I know it's on my list. If you've ever heard of a video game, then you know that E.T. is the worst. So we can get that one out the way.
All right, well, it's out the way. Next.
50 Cent, Bulletproof.
Say, man, you gotta get rich or die trying.
Oh my God, dude, this was by far one of the worst games. That was like, first of all, you got 50 Cent in a game voicing over a video.
Leave Curtis Jackson.
I'm telling you, you can't even understand because you can't open his mouth when you open the mouth. When you do. What?
He sound like Sylvester Stallone. That's what you're saying? Because that's what that sound like to me.
No, yo, Sly is more like this right here.
Either way, it's very prominent. Okay, so mine, I actually had my list about games that I actually remember playing. So obviously I'm dating myself some. But we're talking about the NES, X-Men. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Now, I couldn't buy this game, and I rented it at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And the graphics were terrible. The gameplay was hideous.
Yeah.
So that's my second offering.
All right. My third, sir. BMX Triple X. I don't know if you remember this game. If you don't, that's okay. This was BMX with a little bit of a flair.
Supposed to be?
Yeah. You know, you had ladies that were, scantily clad, riding bicycles and stuff like that. Yeah, it's god awful.
Oh, okay.
God awful.
Ugh.
BMX Triple X. Horrible.
Okay, I'm going to stick with the NES. So I'm a wrestling fan, as you guys know. At least hopefully you know. So there was a game on the NES called Tag Team. And it was just called Tag Team. Like I say, the same things you'll see repeated over and over again.
Right.
Terrible graphics. They had some type of cartoony wrestling going on. It was just, I don't have any more adjectives to tell you how gutter this thing was.
Okay, so my next one is Bad Street Brawler.
Why do I remember that? Is that Sega Genesis?
No,
What is
NES,
this?
sir.
NES?
Yes.
Bad Street. Ugh.
Bad Street Brawler is just a bad game, dude.
Okay.
Like, the graphics were bad. You're like a former punk rocker. It's just a bad game, man. The dude's name was Duke Davis. It was just a bad game, bro.
Okay. Graduating up to the Sega Genesis.
Okay.
WWF Super WrestleMania. So it's basically like 8 guys, Hulk Hogan, Lex Luger, The Undertaker. The problem is they had the same punch, the same kick. They were all the same height. So other than trunk color and like a mustache here or there, everything was identical. It was a button masher. There was no skill. It was just basically who beat the buttons the fastest won. That's terrible. That's not wrestling.
All right, so this brings us to our last one.
Save the worst for last. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say we have an alike game here. Because this one, to me, at least if yours is like mine, this thing is trash. So I'm going to go ahead and say we have the Jedi mind thing going. Shaq Fu.
I like Shaq Fu.
What? That's the whole show in itself.
I like Shaq Fu.
Can he play the music?
Wait,
we need to leave.
I didn't even say my
That is retarded.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst.
Go ahead, man.
Hold on. I got one.
Get your sugar honey iced tea out the way. Come on, man. You disappointed me.
What was the quote you gave me yesterday? And I thought I knew you. Come on, man. Bring it
Last
up. Let's
game,
go.
anyway, the Guy Game. Do you remember the Guy Game?
Yeah, I remember they took a bunch of drunk 18-year-olds and asked them questions.
Yeah. That's it. You had to see if as you picked the same answers that they did, and they were like in bikini tops, and it was just a really.
You get the answer right. They're supposed to flash you.
Yes, the Guy Game.
Hey, I'm flabbergasted.
Yo.
Shaq Fu is not on your list.
That's Aunt Jay.
You get on me.
I'm Jay
for
Stars.
hammer, pumps, and a
Thanks
bump,
for watching
and then Shaq Fu
80/20.
is not on your list.
Make sure that you hit us up on
Horse
Facebook at
what it is.
8020WIR, as well as
Shite.
Twitter at 8020WIR.
Holy
Hit us up
moly.
on
I am
YouTube.
outdone.
8020 who is more right.
80/20 who is more pissed
Subscribe.
is what it should be called.
Check us out. And check us out next week. We may have
my
a little surprise for
gosh.
you. More than Aunt Jay's hair.
Yo, I'm going to buy
It's gonna
Shaq
be
Fu
fun.
and flash that on camera.
Don't flash it.
You, sir.
We played Shaq Fu. You liked Shaq Fu.
No, when did we play Shaq Fu? What memory is this?
I had this on the Raspberry Pi.
No,
We played
sir.
Shaq Fu. Yeah,
no, we
did.
played Michael Jackson Moonwalker. What are you
Which
talking
is good,
about?
too.
We love that.
Yeah, that's good
Smooth
too.
Criminal.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey,
I'm done.
why you done? Because of Shaq Fu?
That shit was terrible.
Shaq Fu was not terrible. It wasn't that terrible.
Wait, what? That?